Hello, it's John, aka Mamalo, here back with the Texas Legion, and today I'm starting a brand new series about going the distance, about making it all the way, about finally getting on Mitchum's show, X&O, finally winning a grand tournament. This series is going to be all about my journey to being a grand champion of a grand tournament as soon as I possibly can. As some of you may know, that most of my time I spend living across the ocean doing different kind of stuff, and I come back to the States for 1 year every 3 or 4 years, and this is my final chance to win the grand tournament. I got 8th place in the last grand tournament I competed in Houston, and I have one more chance before the end of the year at the Oklahoma Open to win a grand tournament. And I'm going to do everything that I can to become number one, the Grand Master of the High Council, the Imperial High Command, Grand Admiral of the Oklahoma Open, and bring back the Red River Trophy to Texas. And so follow along on my journey. I'm going to be doing in-depth dives into all of my games that I play as I prepare. I'm going to do a little bit about my painting, a little bit about different things and why, and hopefully interview some really good players and ask them how they prepare for tournaments and how they do things, and help you prepare for GTs and for winning games more as I come along on this journey to winning my first grand tournament. And so I hope you'll enjoy this series, and I hope you'll follow along and cheer me on as I go and try to compete and win my very first grand tournament. So thank you so much. See you next time.
Now, on to the game.
Welcome to our very first game of the new series. Today I am playing against Fred from the Discord. He is a player out of Orlando, and he's pretty good. He's brand new to the game. Or I wouldn't say brand new. He started playing the game in February, and he's already very, very good at the game. He went to Adepticon this last year and got top 64, and he's doing really well. I'm playing a list that I made up, thinking about countering Han Tan, because I know that's going to be a really big thing. That just won the Texas Open. The Lone Star Open, not the Texas Open, the Lone Star Open, and I know there's a lot of lists there with that. When I was thinking about it, I was like, I think actually Agent Callus is a really good counter to Han Tan for a number of reasons. Not the upgrade, but the unit leader, because mostly you can play the ISB card, his ISB Investigations card, round 1, which is a 2-pip, and you can remove the opportunity for Han to play Change of Plans round 2, or you can get rid of the Agent Pass token card round 2 if you want to do that. And so I think there's a really interesting play that you can do there with Callus, and I think also Callus with fire control seems really good to me. And so I was thinking about that, and I was like, who would be good with Callus running in there, maybe being aggressive? And I was like, I think Cad Bane actually could really benefit from somebody with fire control, because it turns his 4 black, which are like meh, to 2 red and 2 black, which is the new dice pool for all the Mandos, and it's Pierce 1 Surge Crit, which is pretty solid. And then the new upgrades like Hit the Dirt is amazing, absolutely amazing on Cad Bane, and just there's so many interesting little things you can do there. And so I was trying this list out, just seeing how it goes. I think it's a solid baseline. I don't think it's the list that I'm going to be taking to the GT in November at the Oklahoma Open, but I think there's some legs here. I think there's some interesting things to play around with here and see. I really like the idea of the storms. I love the idea of the storms with the overcharge grenades. I think those things, the overcharge packs, are really, really good into most things, especially with Thrawn or an agent who can give you lots of aim access. I think they're even better when you have the specialist, because the specialist just feels so good on every stormtrooper unit you take. If you don't want to take a big one, just take the specialist. You get a free aim, and you get an extra dude rolling an extra dice, and that sometimes that extra white dice is all that matters. But if you're next to Callus, now you got fire support, and now you have, on one turn you could do 4 black and 4 white if you don't have the specialist. If you have the specialist, 4 black, 4 black, 5 white, sorry, if you do have the specialist, and that becomes a really interesting attack pool. because you're probably going to hit on your blacks, which means you can re-roll your whites because you have precise one already, and you're going to be doing quite a bit of damage with those dice pools. And I was able to pull it off a few times where I had Callus in a position where he could see the things that I was shooting at, and I was within range 1 of him, and I got some really good dice pulls off. And it really also works well with the HH12s because you're already getting 3 black if you're not moving, and then 2 extra black on top of that. And you're throwing 5 black into armor with impact 2 usually, and if you're throwing 5 black in armor impact 3, you're going to be hitting it. And if you take the anti-armor grenade thing, the overcharge blasters for anti-armor, then you're rolling and you're next to Callus, you're rolling 7 black 1 white on a normal dude, or 2 white if you have the specialist, and it's impact 5. That's really good for a single turn of armor, and it's less than 100 points to run that on a single dude. Or I think it might even be less than 80 points. It might be right around 80 points to run that on one round of Stormtroopers. The other interesting thing in this list that I really liked was the Death Troopers with double retinue. And so with Strike Team Leader and with retinue from the Imperial High Command Security Detail upgrade, you could get an aim and a dodge every turn, or 2 aims or 2 dodges if you need them, which came in clutch later in the game. And so we ended up on Payload. If you haven't caught on to that already, he got Scrambled Orders, which really messed me up in this game, and actually I think might have cost me the game because I wasn't able to spin an action to clear it, which is just so annoying to have to try to spin an action to clear it. And I was expecting him to really go all in on his side and defending his side and not putting anything on my side, because that's the way he was positioning. And so I was positioning myself in such a way that I could pivot to his side or take the middle and defend my side. And so I was really pushing for the middle, and it was a interesting play. But what eventually happens is he's going to throw Luke on the far side, which forces me to pivot about 3 units, or forces me to pivot 3 units to go defend my home base, where I really thought I only needed 1 or 2. And so that was a big point in the game where he really messed up my plans. But it is what it is. I made some other mistakes. I put Brother in a position at the end of this first round where Brother was within that that Scrambled Orders, and I didn't even think about it. I just was like putting him there, not even thinking about the Scrambled Orders. If I would have remembered, I would put him outside of that, which would have really helped me, because then I could have given an order to Brother and gone first with Brother and ran into Din or ran into some of his other stuff and started forcing the game to go towards him defending his point rather than me fighting over the middle, which is what I wanted to do, because I gave Cad Agile Climber, which I think is really good, because on his 1 pip turn where you get 2 attacks, you can double jump essentially if you wanted to, because that Agile turns into a speed 2 climb, which is so good. Plus he's already got jump 1. I think Agile Climber on Cad Bane is very, very good, very useful for whenever you can use it. And I just loved a lot of the little upgrades that I had on my units. One of the other things was go for broke on Thrawn and Thrawn and Becky, because with Becky she had the Academy Trained Doctrine. So with Becky she has Academy Trained Doctrine, which is really good for her to have the higher courage value. Now I have 2 commanders that are courage 3. I have 2 sources of strategize. I have Inspire 2 now into the list natively, and just is so good. And with Go for Broke, whenever you keep your suppression, you get to keep one of your tokens, one of your green tokens that you have on you. And so oftentimes you would have an extra aim or an extra dodge that you want to keep around, and having just the ability to keep a free token for, I think it's like 4 or 5 points, even just once, it's worth it. But then you're doing it 2 or 3 times throughout the game, that card becomes so valuable, because I've found that oftentimes round 1 you're not using all of your tokens. Round 2 you might use all your tokens. Round 3 for sure you're using all your tokens. But even just that ability to keep 1 or 2 tokens through the next round is so good. And then I had Vigilance on Thrawn, which I also really loved because I was able to keep a dodge on Kallus, and it made Kallus not want to get shot. Or I was able to keep a dodge on Cad Bane because Cad Bane always had 3 dodges because he had his independent dodge, plus I was strategizing aim and dodge out to him with Thrawn. And so now Cad Bane was actually very lethal and very, very tanky. You'll see coming into round 3, Cad Bane tanked a monster storm of attacks just because he was so ridiculous with his rolls and danger sense and uncanny luck. It actually paid out really well. And then I also had all these dodges I had on him. And so I think that setup on Thrawn, so go for broke with the Vigilance is very, very good on him because then it becomes you're keeping extra tokens around. Same thing with Becky. And I was also thinking about with Tag, it might be a good thing to have Vigilance or even go for broke on Tag. The only problem is Tag has a harder time generating suppression on himself because with the strategize you always generate at least 1 suppression on you, which is what you need in order to keep the token. And so with go for broke, because you have to have at least 1 suppression on you in order to use go for broke. And so I think just that alone is really valuable. In this game now, what I did to defend against the Luke is I put my 2 units over there, which I knew would tie it up, or at least I was trying to win that point. I should have double moved another unit over there to win that point turn 2. I forgot that Luke had force push, which was just annoying. And then this red ATRT that you're seeing kind of flash around as it's moving so fast, he defended so stinking well. Like that red ATRT should have died and he just did not want to die. And then his sleepers came out and shot me and did a lot of damage, and it was rough for a little bit there, but kept moving forward, kept going after it, and just trying really hard to take the center point because I knew I had to capture the center point round 2. I think my big mistake though was not was putting Brother within the scrambled orders. It was a friendly game. I probably could have said, hey, I forgot about the scrambled orders. Is it okay if I move Brother just outside of that? It should have been, it probably would have been okay, but in a tournament setting, not okay. I gotta remember that where scrambled orders range is, because that's so important, especially for this list, because if I'm playing against a non-Han list, I can guarantee I can go first with Brother, and Brother can double move charge into something speed 3, and I have a courage 3 bubble behind him to keep him safe. And so that was, I think, a really big mistake on my part, is that I just left Brother out there like that. And then this unit I just moved up, my plan originally was to go double move over there to fight against Luke, and I probably should have done that, but instead I got a little greedy and was like, I killed that red ATRT finally, I'm going to try to kill some sleepers, and if I can kill some sleepers it can really help me out. And I got his red sleepers down quite a bit, and then he moved up with his yellow ATRT. And this map is really interesting because there's a big area terrain piece in the middle, which really made things interesting. And so it was a difficult play around, but this shot with Cad, so Cad was doing all right. He was throwing usually 4 Pierce 1 with Sharpshooter and was taking out anything that's a white save. What I wish I would have done here is he puts up this marked target on that tower there. Now round 3, I was trying to decide what to do with Cad. So because Cad takes a little bit of shots here and there, he takes some dodges, some extra suppression, and so now he's kind of out there and he's starting to shoot at me with his snipers and everything else, and he's trying to take Cad down. Cad likes this for a little bit because I get the suppression tokens, which is great, and then I double move over there to defend my home point, but he moves, and I totally forgot about force push here. If I would have remembered force push, I would have won that point and it would have been fine, but I forgot it. So he moves there and we get tied up there. We go 1-1. Now this is where I play Cad's Uncanny Luck card, his 1 pip, and what I should have done is I should have double moved over towards his home point at this point, and I should have gone first with him. I didn't think about this. I was trying to go with somebody else, and I was like, what do I do? Maybe I can kill Din. Then it was getting late at night, and I was like, I'll wait around. So I moved with Thrawn first because I wanted to get aims and dodges onto Cad. And I was like, what do I do? Do I go with Cad? Do I double jump over? And that's what I should have done. I should have double jumped over. Instead, I went with Thrawn, with Thrawn, and I gave Cad an aim and dodge because I wanted the aim. And I shot at some of his sleepers, trying to knock them down a little bit. But then he went with his full health sleeper squad at Cad, and he really killed Cad. I went down to 1 HP here, and thanks to the danger sense and the uncanny luck, I was able to survive just barely. So I go with Cad, and I'm like, I need to survive. So I move into that home point rather than moving over towards his and contesting his, because I didn't realize how many units he had in that middle tree section there. He had 2 cores and a saboteur commando squad, and what I should have done is I should have double moved over to his point and shot his sniper team and shot the 4-man red core there. Doing that would have forced all of his other stuff to go towards Cad and not towards the middle, and I would have been able to win the middle and win the attrition war there. And so that's what I should have done. I didn't end up doing that. These core took a shot at Luke. Luke just defends, deflects. He does a lot of things to move me out, move me around. And Swing, he almost kills the droid. The droid survives by some miracle. And I was like, okay, sweet. Then he force pushes the droid. And so now I have to move the droid back into contesting, which is no big deal. And then I was trying to decide what to do with one of the cores over there. But this is where I messed up with Cad. I should have done that, but instead I double moved him, or I shot, moved, and got stuck in some of his core. And I tried to kill his commander, but his commander just barely survived. I won, which was fine. But then he starts going after Cad, and Cad gets down to 1 HP, and it's rough going from there. So I was trying to decide what to do because I didn't have a lot of great options at this point, because brother was stuck in there with Din, because I didn't get that first attack off, which I should have gotten off because of the stupid scrambled orders. Scrambled orders is so annoying to play into. If you're playing Rebels and you don't have scrambled orders as your advantage, you're making a mistake. It is the best advantage, I think, in the game, even better than advanced intel, because it's so ridiculous. The ability to shut down any orders from around or range 1 of that token is so good, and you have to be at half range to shut it down, and you have to use an action to shut down. It's just nuts what it is. And so the game starts slowly deteriorating for me from here. We end up going towards that center. He ends up getting enough guys on the center to win that point, and my rolls start going bad. Things don't go great for me. Cad Bane doesn't survive. Kallus is able to finally kill his commander with a crit and tied up Luke. Hit him one more time. Almost got deflected. Totally forgot about that. Should have just observed him and double moved away or something. And then he starts moving his base forward, and it's at this point where I realize I think the game is lost. And I think that was my big mistake. I had a couple of big mistakes there. Number 1 was the brother mistake, and then number 2 was definitely the Cad Bane. I should have gone towards his base and forced him to fight there rather than going with Cad towards the middle. And so that was my real big mistake there, is doing that rather than doing that. As if I would have done that, I think I really probably would have pulled this game out, because all these things that he's now moving to the center, he wouldn't have moved to the center. He would have to move them towards his home POI, and it made the difference in the game. So that's our first game in the series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too fast paced. Let me know what you guys think, and I appreciate you guys following along and following the journey. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye bye.